Hey there, everybody. It's Dan the Healing Man here, and I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about how to deal with tragedies. They happen to us all. Tragedy just intrudes into our life. We don't expect it. And it's really easy to get grappled and grabbed right into the selfish nature of tragedy, because things do happen and they're difficult to deal with. They affect loved ones. Maybe someone gets killed, maybe someone gets hurt, maybe someone survives something that really changes their life in a dramatic and extreme way. Tragedy is really defined by a set of events that overwhelm our ability to deal with them. And it's the same thing for a disaster, basically something that overwhelms our resources. And in tragedy, we wonder, how can you not wonder, right? How does a good God allow something like this to happen? And what kind of mercy is involved with the destruction of a body or, a debilitating addiction or something like that? How does it work that so many things could go apparently wrong? And the way to look at it is this. The way that Jesus' strategy approaches tragedy is a little bit different than the way my nature wants to approach tragedy. I can give you a personal example. Recently, someone in my family was hit head on by a drunk driver at 10:30 in the morning on their way to work. And I have this immediate inclination to be very angry at this person. And she was injured in such a way that it changes her life. It changes her life forever. Not that that's such a long time. And I want anger to get in there, and I want fear to get in there, and I really get stuck in how this affects me. But I'm not the one hurt, and I'm not the life that's changed forever. Though my life is affected, of course. The way to do it is to look towards something that we learn in the Jesus strategy, and that is to attend to this as an opportunity. And just as soon as you get done with assessing the details of a tragedy, it's important to convert that energy from anger and fear and sadness and sorrow and all the things that just come with it, because you're going to have those. They're going to be with you. They're not just going to magically go away with some special prayer or anything like that. But move it into acting immediately for the benefit of everyone involved. Some of the things people do today, they start a GoFundMe page, right? Or they inquire to a family about what they might be able to do to make things better. What are they missing? What can be supported? Are their pets to feed? Or their kids to help out with? What can you immediately do? The point is that we want to move from how this has affected us into what we can do for you. Less about me and how I feel and think about it, more about you and what you need to get through it. Something about being in service to other people has a way of balancing out those really intense emotions that surround tragedy. Something about thinking of other people first helps us process our own thoughts and feelings, our own foes, right? Our fears, opinions, and habits that surround this kind of thing. It's so easy in our selfish nature to just become entirely self-referential in the thing. I am so sad, I am so concerned, I am praying for, I am going, and that's all fine and well. It's called human nature. But there's this other side, and Jesus asks us to step out of that nature and to attend to this as an opportunity. And how do we do that? Well, there's a couple of things I want you to think about. One of them is you just don't know who you're about to meet. You don't know who you're about to meet. There were people in place for this tragedy to help you. There are things and resources and money and tools in place to help you. And they were there, hopefully, ahead of this tragedy. Think about that for a second. There are things in place to help you right now through this tragic event. Another thing to think about is there'll be a set of circumstances that will be important to create. You know, someone's paralyzed to build ramps and those kind of things. Someone with a head injury may need some assistance of a variety of kinds. Those are the obvious things. But there may be something long-term that you can do. And that is to begin to set up a support system, financially and relationally, for the person that truly was affected by the tragedy that was directly involved. Those are things that are super beneficial. Convince yourself of what it is you can do to be helpful. What it is that is required to be done, what is necessary. Remember, in the Jesus strategy, we want to keep our interactions, especially where it involves resentment, anger, fear, anxiety, and worry, to words and actions that are helpful and necessary. Helpful and necessary. And being angry is neither one of those things. And being worried or spiteful or resentful doesn't do any of those things. Please remember, we all break the rules from time to time. And any one of those times could result in tragedy. Another thing that's great for helping get through tragedy is communication, is to express love, not anger, to the person directly affected. Express concern and commitment to those people, not your own feelings about what's happened. We have a tendency to say things like, "I'm so sorry this happened to you." Maybe leaving that out's a good idea and just saying, "I'm here for you. Don't worry about blank. I've got it covered." Whatever that is. What is it that you could do? What I could do for my family members, don't worry about your bills. I've got that covered. And I make a commitment to doing at least that piece. There'll be things I can't do for her that other people will be required to do. Another reason why it's an opportunity is you're going to find other people you can help. You're going to discover a whole lot of new people that you have no way of otherwise knowing. Tragedy brings people together in a really special and durable way. Tragedy doesn't have politics involved with it. Tragedy is not a denomination or a sect or really even a religion. Tragedy doesn't have the typical pressures of society built into it. Consequently, we can cross all kinds of barriers that might typically exist, because the very group of people or the very type of person that you might not like might be the one person that has all the skills necessary to move you or the person directly affected through it. Let go and let God is the common thing, and what we're talking about here is to open your eyes to the amount of resources that are coming through at this very moment to help you with this tragedy. Yeah, it hurts. It changes our lives. Tragedy. It does. However, it is a huge opportunity to see the presence of God in all things, including the injuries, including the death, including those difficult things that remain with those that survive. It's an opportunity. It's not the one you're out looking for, but that's exactly what it is. Bring God right on into it. See all the resources coming your way. Be a committed source of help, positive words and love. And that tragedy will slowly become a relationship building, faith building experience that really only tragedy can deliver. I don't wish it on anyone. I don't wish it on myself. I don't wish it on anyone. Something about life says it's sure to come our way. So think about it. What can you do to make it better? Be careful with your words. And remember, tragedy is an opportunity for you to bring God right on through.